Have you ever had a UFO experience yourself, or do you know of anyone close to you has had an experience?
I personally have not had I personally have not seen anything I couldn't later then identify. Um so no, I've had no paranormal experience, no religious experience, no nothing. I've never seen a ghost. I never talked to God. I've never seen a alien spaceship. I've never seen an alien. Um I've tried.
Yeah,
I've tried, I've looked, I've seen, I've tried to pray, I've tried to talk to God. I was a Baptist for a few years in my early 20s. Um, I've looked again, I went to Area 51. I saw some crazy stuff out there, but then
right.
later on when I went back and looked at the video footage, I was like, "Oh, it's a plane." I could see it's like, "Oh, it's balloons." Oh, it like I could genuinely see it like it was no mystery.
Right.
Um, and in fact, I, well, whatever. Yeah, I've never. Do I know people close to me? Yeah, I do. I know people close to me that have had an experience, and it's real as day to them. They
Right.
just tell me, Patrick, dude, I'm telling you, what I saw was nuts. Like this is, it's like
Because
I.
you
That's what fascinates me about this more than anything is just the millions of people who have all these stories. Like they're all lying. I mean, that sounds crazy to
yeah, it
me.
can't be that they're all lying. There's something definitely going on, and no matter where I sit on my skeptic versus believer sort of spectrum, let's say, I've always maintained that something people are definitely seeing something. No, they're not lying, right? But there's something's going on. The government's hiding something. What it is, I don't
Oh,
know. I
for
can't say
sure.
beyond that,
For
obviously.
sure.
But
There's
there's
something there's something creating all this smoke, like
there's
without a doubt.
we
And
have
that's why I'm here.
sightings. We have sightings here in Australia as well, but obviously
Yeah, of
they're quite sparsely
course.
populated here. So like, but there are people that live out in the dead center of Australia near a place called Mount Zeal. It's actually there's a town site called Alice Springs. You may have heard of that, and just outside of that is the United
Mm-mm.
States have one of their most important foreign bases called Pine Gap, and they use it for like
Oh
all of
yeah.
the wartime communications and stuff.
I've heard about Pine Gap.
Right, you've heard
Yeah, I
about
have.
Pine Gap, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
Russ
UFO,
Poltart.
so there's a whole lot of UFO sightings and stuff around that area, and there's also a really famous one that is you may have heard of the Westall School incident. I think it was in the 70s. I've actually been to
Hmm.
Westall. It's in Victoria. I'm in New South Wales
Yeah.
now, but I have been there. There's not much in Westall. There's this, like I say, the whole thing. We're a very sparsely populated country, so like the sightings are fewer. They're not as frequent. But
Yeah.
the Westall case was one of those ones that really challenges my skepticism. Like it's I can't. It's hard to poke really any holes in that. Like when you take a look at what the kids say versus what they are as adults, and they're saying the exact same stuff or the exact same details. Um, Same thing happened in Rua, the Ariel School in South Africa. Very similar case. Those school children cases, yeah, they're the ones that I really have trouble
They're
poking any
fascinating.
holes in. Yeah,
Yeah, they're fascinating, man.
I think
I mean,
there's
at the end of
some
the day, we don't know.
no,
We don't have any evidence. Nobody has evidence. I mean, you talk to people who've been in this, you know, for 40 years.
yeah,
So it's like on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you on this, right? It's like the same number since they started because there is no evidence out there. There's
yeah,
a lot of stories, and there's stories of evidence, and there's stories of proof, right? Of undeniable proof, the smoking gun, but there's only stories. So
yeah.
yeah, I find people's experiences and the most fascinating, probably. It's the closest thing to evidence we have, in my opinion, is people's, you know, experiences, their stories of what they want to tell.
Would you consider yourself to be more of a skeptic or more of a believer? It's a tough. It's I don't know if I should ask you that question in that way, but I'm not sure else how to ask that. Is yeah, but what side of the spectrum do you fall on? Because for me personally, I go between. I swap over and I can't decide. I'm very flippant like that.
Um, so there's kind of two parts to this answer. One is I kind of don't agree with labels in a lot of ways.
Mm,
So think of like politically in America, there's a left and a right and conservative and liberal. Like I hate all that.
you're right.
You know, you want to know my position on something, ask me specifically that one thing, because to try to just like box me in, oh, he's a liberal, so he thinks this, or oh, he's a conservative, so then he thinks this about everything. So I don't like skeptic or believer either. But I realize that those terms are used in the community, right? So if I
Right.
had to just play by those rules, I would say I'm neither. Because again, some days I wake up and I'm a little more this. Some days I wake up and I'm a little more oh. So, you know, it's
Yeah.
just you know, I'm neither. I'm just a regular dude, man, trying to figure out what the hell is going on with all this UFO stuff. And I'm neither a skeptic nor a believer in the sense I can't say for certain that this is real, and you know I can't say for certain the phenomenon is real. I may think it's real, but I've always said this on my channel, at least I've tried to, is that I never want to rob myself of the actual moment of finding out that it's
Yeah.
real, right?
Right.
That will be a very surreal moment. So I don't want to rob myself and just start thinking that way already. Yeah, it's real. And then you're living that life as if it's real. Does that make sense? So I don't want to rob
Yeah.
myself of the moment. Like celebrating before you cross the finish line. You see the finish line. Like, I don't get that, right? That's the number one rule. You don't celebrate till you cross the finish line. Because what happens? You'll lose the race.
Yeah.
Right. So I just don't want to do that. So yeah, man. I mean, but a skeptic as well. I don't, you know, do I want to look at everything and just go, oh, that's balloons or birds? No, I'm not interested in that either. Right. I'm not interested in denying everything right away. And again, I'm not saying all skeptics are like that or believers just believe everything. Right. There's nuance to that as well.
Sure.
I think it's good to have both hats.
Yeah.
Right. If again, if you want to put labels on it, I prefer no labels. I'm just
Yeah.
Patrick. I'm not a skeptic or a believer. Like, I don't want to be labeled in any way, which is what I think helps vetted in a lot of ways, because I see in our comments, again, to use the terms that are just used here, there are skeptics and believers in my comments together.
Right.
It's not, I don't ever want to create an echo chamber. I mean, just look at the video I put out yesterday, man. The hate I got from that. That's actually part of the reason I got banned from two of the subreddits.
The
For the
Corbell
video
one?
that I put, yeah, the video that I put up yesterday, because people were commenting like, I thought you were a fan of Corbell. How can you be saying that? I'm like, dude, you haven't even seen the video. And two,
That's
I'm not
why
a fan of anybody. Like, I'm not friends with any of these people. I don't want to be friends with them. I have my own friends. I don't need more friends.
right.
I don't care about getting access or interviews. So I'm going to speak my mind. And Jeremy Corbell has come to my comments and commented twice, letting me know, hey, man, I love that you speak your mind. So he's obviously cool with me criticizing him, which I respect, to be
Yeah,
honest,
great.
because, right, I respect that, to be honest with you, a lot. Because again, I'm not here to be friends with anybody, like, or gain access. People, oh, you're never going to get these guys on your channel. I don't care
I
if I
thought it
get
was
them on my
funny.
channel.
There were people commenting on that video before it had even premiered. So, because they just saw the title
Bro,
and they were like
that
already
happens every
arguing with
day.
you because like
That
they're like
happens every day.
well, it's just a title. It's not like you've seen what he hasn't made any conclusions. It's literally just a
I mean,
video title. But
I
people are
I
you
get where they're
can't.
coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
I do.
They're staunchly
Again, that
defending people. But
they're allowed to have their opinion on it, and if they think it's clickbaity or whatever the term people like to use,
I don't think it is at all.
you
No.
know, honestly, I don't really care. Like, people are allowed to have their opinion. If that's what they think, then that's what they think. How am I supposed to change their mind on it? Like, you know what I mean? I don't care.
You have to have a
Let them
captivating
think it's
title.
clickbaity. You know. Well,
Otherwise, the video
again,
doesn't work, right?
again, I don't, they're allowed to have their opinion on it. So
Of
if that's how
course.
they feel, then I respect it, and it's all good. And I got to do what I got to do.
I
Who's
just
paying
found
my
it
bills?
I just found it
Right? Like
interesting
me.
that
So,
people were willing to comment before
oh,
they'd even heard
for
anything.
sure. For sure. Again, that happens every day, man. And that's part of it. That's why I put the premiere like that, so that people can jump in and start commenting. I mean, that video had 100 comments before it even started.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
were already on it.
Uh,
Again, I don't mind it. But yeah, it is funny that people will
it's
make a
very amusing.
comment
I
about a
enjoy your
video
comment section a lot.
without seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad
Um,
somebody does.